Hello, good morning. Today's kind of an errands day. I am going to be doing some writing, but it's going to be, I think, poetry specific, as well as I want to do some learning stuff because I need to kind of catch up on my goal for December when it comes to learning about writing. So I think I'm going to try and find like a YouTube video or a Skillshare video or just some sort of online resource that I can use just to do a bit of learning so that I can catch up on that goal. And then I need to catch up on the poetry goal. We're actually more behind on the poetry goal than the Between the Waves writing goal, which is surprising to me. I was expecting to have a lot more, just for poetry to come a lot easier for me. But I think because I had such a long break from Between the Waves, I've had like a higher capacity for it because I just didn't spend much time on it for a long time. So yeah, beyond doing some learning and some poetry and maybe some Between the Waves as well, because the learning stuff is going to be focused on what I need to do for Between the Waves for the next draft. I also have errands to do. I need to clean the car. I need to drop some stuff off at the thrift store. And then I feel like I just need to take some time to do some like admin work and organize myself that way. So yeah, we've come to a cafe to kind of organize myself, take my work meeting, get a to-do list going for the day, and maybe do some like writing learning, and then we'll go from there. Bye, friend. Okay, can you lay down? Lay down. Lay down. Okay. I guess Lola's in the video. So once again, I've already done enough hours to hit my goal for Between the Waves, but sometimes it's frustrating because I feel like the hours that I put towards it aren't actually producing any sort of progress, I guess. Like it feels like, I guess the thing that I'm kind of having an issue with right now is that the things that I listed for draft 4, that is phase 1, answers that I need to figure out before I can actually continue writing. Those answers are kind of intertwined, and I feel like I've been brainstorming, doing lots of brainstorming, but then getting stuck in this place where I don't really know what to start with. which is kind of frustrating. I think it's happening because, so obviously I need a lot of information about Amaya's backstory. Like I need to get those things solidified because in the past I've had various versions of it. I have a general idea of what happens to her and who she is, and who she was, but I need to like confirm things because it's changed so much, which is fine. I understand that part, but then there's also, I need information about the Guardians, and I also need historical information about Amaya's family and the kingdom that she's from, as well as some kind of like overarching world building stuff, or it is world building, but it's like the history of the world basically. And I think the issue that I'm running into is that the way that the world is and the history that has happened is going to affect who Amaya is, because the history that I have to figure out is so closely linked to her kingdom and her family. So obviously I have to do more work on who Amaya is and what her past has been like, but then the way that she grew up is so heavily influenced by this overarching world building stuff that I'm hesitant to do too much work around the questions regarding Amaya specifically, because I think I need to figure out the larger world answers first, because that's the climate and the environment and the history and just the knowledge that she has grown up with, and that's going to affect who she is as a person. But then for me, I think I'm just overthinking it, but it very much has become like a chicken or the egg situation where I'm like, well, if I want it to be character driven, maybe I should get a stronger idea of how I want Amaya to be and what I want her backstory to be and her history, so that I can give her a really strong arc and align her to how I wanted her to be. And then the larger world building stuff, I can kind of like mold a bit around her just to like make her arc work better. But this is also why it's nice to talk about it out loud, which is also why I genuinely enjoy vlogging about my creative projects and my writing and stuff, especially when I'm struggling with it, because saying it all out loud has made it pretty clear that I don't think that's the right way to go. Like I don't think that I need to do Amaya first. I have an idea of her arc, like I know how I want her to change throughout the story, and to be totally honest, I think the overarching world building stuff needs to come first, just so that I actually understand who Amaya is based on that stuff and where she's starting from based on those decisions and those answers. So now that I've said it out loud, it feels less like a chicken and the egg situation, and it does feel like I need to start with the overarching world building stuff. Make sure that that's solidified, and then take Amaya as she is now, place her in that world, and then make decisions on like how she would have been raised in a world like that and how it would have affected her personality and her interactions with others and the flaws that she has now as well as the strengths. Well, I'm glad we talked about this, because I actually feel like that makes more sense, and I need to spend more time working on the overarching world building stuff and get that figured out before switching back to Amaya and getting her personal stuff figured out. So yeah, I'll probably do a bit of work on Between the Waves today at some point, but I am going down to the city, so we'll see how much time I have, and I need to sit down and make a list of things that I need to figure out and do before flying back to Ontario for the holidays. I'll be back for like a week and a half or so, and then I still have really not worked on poetry as much as I would like to, and as much as I like set out my goals to this month. For some reason though, it's still not really bugging me. Like that doesn't bother me, I guess because I've sat down before and written like 10 poems just in one sitting if I'm really feeling it. So I think I know that once I actually do sit down to write those, I'll probably write like a quarter of the book in one sitting, or the rough draft of the quarter of the book in one sitting. But also that means that I actually need to make myself sit down and do those things. So, and then the learning stuff has been okay. I do need to do more learning. I've watched like 2 YouTube videos, which is probably equivalent to about 30 minutes. But that's definitely under the goal of what I wanted to be working on. So it is nice because I'm definitely doing above and beyond when it comes to Between the Waves, but then the other 2 goals are slacking a little bit, which is okay, but just something that I've been thinking about a bit. love this tree. Hello, good morning. Today's the day that I fly to Ontario, and I am just wildly underprepared, to be totally honest. I have a friend who will be staying here while I'm gone. They're kind of like subletting just for the time that I'm away. So I need to like wash all my bedding, clean my room, make some space for them to like be able to put their stuff while they're here. I also still need to make the Christmas presents for my family, which as I think I mentioned, I've talked about it, my interest in like herbalism stuff. I have finally collected all of the ingredients that I need to make kind of like a winter balm or salve, I guess. I'll show you once I've made it exactly what's in it, but I've never made a salve before. Like, I don't really know how to properly melt like beeswax and pine resin and stuff and get it to actually form properly. But like, I really don't want to bring a chunk of beeswax and like all the individual ingredients with me to Ontario so that I can make it there. So really need to do that today before my flight tonight. Luckily my flight's at like midnight, so I've got the whole day basically. But yeah, I need to do those things. Would like to do some writing. Still would like to do more poetry. The thing that's nice is that I'm flying a super budget airline, so I really only have a personal item that I can bring. So packing won't take long because I don't have much of a choice. I'm also considering, I know I have new subscribers, so if you're new here, hi, welcome. I have in the past offered website design and development services just to like personal clients, just as like little mini projects and stuff. Obviously, a lot of that is what I do for my main contractor role, but the nice thing about working with like artists and authors and editors and stuff is that the websites are generally a lot more fun than what I'm building in my day-to-day life. And I've actually been considering reopening for website design because I just want to like design some super fun, funky websites and maybe some like minimal website development. So if you want like a one-page custom WordPress site sort of thing, and then just offering it for cheap, which when it comes to websites, that's like under $500 Canadian basically. But I just enjoy doing it. Like, I like exploring that, and I like making connections with other people who are in like creative industries. So I'm considering opening that back up and seeing if anyone's interested. Maybe if you're watching this and you want a website for under $500 Canadian, I'll leave the form open down below and you can let me know if you're interested, especially with the holiday slowdown and like keeping in mind that that's my only source of income basically right now. I'm like, I don't know, I think it would be fun to work on more projects with people who are in the same industry as me, and then also obviously earn a little bit of extra income so that I have like some diversified income. If I remembered to, I should show you some of the websites that I built because my development portfolio actually isn't online right now. I was going to move it over to like an Adobe hosted portfolio. So if you try to go to it, it's not online, you'll notice. So I'll try to put some here so that you can see what I've built. Anyways, I'll just leave the form down below. If you're interested, you can let me know, or my email should be below or on my channel somewhere, so you can also email me if you want something like that. I've got 12 minutes until my work meeting. It's a bit early today, but I'm okay with that because it means that I can kind of like get it over with and like have a better idea if and what I have to actually work on today for them, because it just hasn't been like as much lately. So I think I'm gonna try and sneak a load of laundry in just before this meeting gets started, jump into the meeting, and then I can reorganize the rest of my day. You can't really tell, but it is snowing. It's almost 1:30. I feel like this day is flying by. I had some lunch. I made the salve. Took so much longer than I expected. It turns out it takes a long time for pine resin to melt, something that I would have known if I had done research before. And I also have, so I have like little containers that I was going to use to give to family members. And then I also have this much extra. But you can see, this is how they turned out. They look really nice. They feel nice. My nose is a little stuffed, but I'm pretty sure they smell nice. And then I also just went for a little walk, got myself a matcha, and I kind of grabbed some like little pine needles. Although I'll be totally honest, I'm 90% sure these aren't actual like pine. It's from some other coniferous tree that is not pine, which you might be thinking, Kayla, that doesn't matter. No one's gonna notice. But you have to understand that my family is full of people who know plants. So like, they'll probably know immediately, but I guess we'll just see if anyone comments on it. So yeah, I'm just gonna like finish decorating these, I guess. I also listened to like an hour and a half worth of podcasts, so I'm caught up on my learning goal for this week and last week actually, which is good because I was falling behind. But this, I'll pop it up on the screen because it's not the one that I showed on camera before. This podcast had lovely episodes on like character work and backstories. They're also pretty bite-sized. Sometimes when a podcast is like over an hour long, I get intimidated and overwhelmed by it and I don't listen to the whole thing through. But these episodes tended to be a lot shorter and just like packed full of really easy to understand and easy to apply information. So I listened to a few of those, which was great. So that's good. Means that we're caught up on learning. And I mean, I've already done, again, at least 2 hours of Between the Waves work this week, but I'll do a bit more today. So now we just have to catch up on poetry. But first I'm going to do the rest of my Christmas gifts and then make the bed and kind of like do a room clean, because as I mentioned, I have someone staying here. I want to like put away my laundry and kind of get everything basically sorted so that in a few hours when my friend comes to pick me up to go to the airport, I have everything ready. And then I feel like I'll be able to relax a little, but we'll see how far I get with that, because also I need stress and pressure to actually get things done. So